Welcome back, sufferers, to the Lucky Die in Kino. Previously, Arliss shows off his physique, Ivoris offers to protect a secret, and Greff reveals his magic. In the light of Arawn's death, Greff reveals a potentially explosive secret to Ivoris. Despite their loss, the remaining team members continue to help Arliss by finding a way to the entrance of the temple, far below the water. Why would Dacian help Greff to hide his humanity? Are Carsons and Sarsons related? And will the Assembly make good their promises? I guess we're about to find out. Welcome back to the Lucky Die in Kino. The three of you are unceremoniously dumped outside of the big doors that led into Ilmater's holding rooms, shall we say. A little temple, little place where the bindings were held. Everything is exactly as you left it. Yeah. What do you guys want to do?
Hollis is going to just sit there for a moment, shaking and just kind of staring at his hands, and then have a moment of still being alive and all the pain that he just went through, a little post-traumatic stress there for probably about a good 2 minutes. Maybe have a good cry.
Yeah, your body still feels still very, very shaky. You were taken to the point of death and held there for a little while these two attempted futilely to help. But the binding is wrapped around your right wrist, and it's quite tight. It's tight where you kind of really wish you could take it off, but it won't move. So there you go.
You all right?
I give a very stern looking to Ivoris. I give a very stern look to Ivoris. Yes. Tears still in his eyes. Yes, I am. All right. Yes.
Well, you certainly earned that. He gesturing to the bindings.
All this is still pretty having his religious moment and still sort of crying, tears sort of streaming down a little bit and shaking a lot and getting near vomiting and trying not to.
No vomit is brought forth.
Well, you can hold on to that. You earned it. And if your god dies, that is all on you. I don't want anything to do with it. Good job. Do you need healing? Do you need anything?
No.
You sure?
Sorry. Yes. Yeah, I'm well. How are you?
I'm all right.
I'm starting to get more focused. I think we had, it's real. We had two more things we were going to do that were in a rush. We needed to go to Yowli and proceed
Yoli.
on. I think.
I'm sorry. Who is Yoli?
It's a town.
Oh, it's a place.
I mean, it could be a person
Okay.
too, but I think it is just the place.
Greff, you could maybe take a history check.
All right. I am not very smart, but history. 14. No, that was with an advantage. Sorry. It's still 14. The first roll was 12.
Let me have a check on the old map. No, on a 14, you wouldn't have come across this in your travels.
So, yeah, Yoli. So we're not only gonna get you your bindings, we're also getting the string.
It would be to our benefit, possibly, if it's on the way. That would be. It will be a target. That is one of the targets.
Wait. We were told to help you. Am I misunderstanding here something? It was to get the bindings.
Yes.
And then what?
And then I have to get to an individual in a city, Shilvana, passing Freedom's Bluff. Where am I supposed to find my contact? Is that my contact as well? Are they the same person?
Your contact is being brought to you. You just basically had to wait for them to make contact with you. Your contact, the one that you expected to meet you would have been this Princess Boo character, person you hadn't met, but they would be bringing you to your actual, I have to report to this person contact, which would be Milhook.
Gotcha. So, and there's obviously Princess Boo is not coming at this point.
You expected to be kidnapped, rescued by Princess Boo, but instead these chumps turned up.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Chumps.
That's my thinking exactly.
Yes.
Okay. Let me.
We've actually got things that we have to return to Shilvana to do some point. And we really only. I don't know if we're supposed to be running the errands with you for the assembly. Excuse me, but we're not really assembly. We're just trying to meet up with a couple of people.
That is fair. Then we can all go to Shilvana together. And maybe that'll be where we separate, unless you know Princess Boo to be there. That would be convenient.
No, I know her to, well, Milhook and I suppose Princess Boo. He says that like weird because he knows her name and he's blah. Was supposed to meet up in the bar upstairs one afternoon. I don't know if leaving town would be the way to meet them.
You didn't seem to tell me this information before, that we were going to meet them at the bar. This is new news.
I didn't want to tell you information before.
Well, then that's our plan. We'll meet there, and then off to Shilvana. I will go, with or without you.
We'll figure it out.
He's starting to get back to his normal way, and he puts on gloves to make sure that... and then realizing he has to go swimming. Can I borrow your bag of holding one more time?
Yeah, go ahead. Greff hands you the bag. Quick question. Neil, you told us that you've been able to have like future visions, right? Like this is not meta knowledge in my head, is it?
Yeah, I've told Greff that, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to fucking make sure. Greff hands Alice the bag of holding, and like as you take it, he goes, so, you used your visions to find the bindings and the string, huh?
Not really visions. A spell. The visions were somewhat random.
No, not you. I'm assuming that Alice... Wait, no.
Visions...
How did you know about the bindings?
I know many things. I told you I'm a paladin, but I am disgraced. Does not mean I still have no connection. I just... I'm not given any favor.
I would like you two to make an insight check, please. You can oppose with a deception if you wish.
Boop. 28.
Fuck off with that.
So, what were the insights?
15 and 13. Sorry. Mine was 13.
15.
And what was the deception?
28.
Yeah, you don't pick up what he's not saying.
Yeah, I wish you wouldn't have told us to give roll insight, because now I'm going to see meta when I'm going to start pressing him on this, because I was like, that wasn't an answer, you motherfucker. I was thinking that. I was going to start pressuring him.
It was a definite avoiding of exactly answering, so that's why I had yelled to insight whether or not it'll be something clearly written on his face. You can still call him out for not answering the question properly. That's not
I will.
Not a meta thing.
Yeah, Greff just kind of when he while you're stuffing your stuff into the bag, he just kind of leans back. No. I mean, surely being a paladin, you have wanted to acquire these things for a long time.
Hollis takes his pants off.
You're momentarily distracted by how good he looks. Those Speedos.
Putting on the goggles. And the bowler cap.
Are those paladin ordered issued? No.
No, they're just mine.
They're personal.
I got a very good deal on them.
What I meant to ask you, Ollis, is where did you get this information? How do you know about both the binding and the strings? These are, I wouldn't call it secret information, more like absolutely lost lore. It feels like you're coming out of nowhere with information that would have been searched for centuries.
Who has the information that you have? Does the assembly have it, or are you getting that information from your initiative friend?
I know that our enemies have it, for sure. Specifically, our shared initiative enemies, specifically Kells, has some of it, anyway.
How are we going to deal with that?
What do you mean, how are we going to deal with that?
Kells, we're going to stop her and kill her, right?
I don't know what your intentions are, actually, because you've made it very clear that you're unsure of which path you want to take. I have invited you multiple times to fight on the path of justice, and you have expressed a hesitancy to do so because you feel awkward about the
lines are not clear.
But your loyalties to your dead god are.
Certainly.
And that is what I'm trying to get at. The entire assembly is not good, surely. But there are elements within it that are. And those key elements are very, very important, that they are aided and assisted. And that is what I'm really trying to stress here. He says, trying to look very formal, but just in a Speedo. And passing the bag back to Greff.
Okay, and on the other hand, we are doing a pretty, well, we were doing all right on our own.
But were you? A god has died on your watch. That could have been prevented had I been able to get more.
Had I even known about it, had I even known that your employer was going to kill my god, I would have done something about it, clearly.
So let us try and prevent things from happening in the future. We know there's a list.
Trying to do.
Yes. And what I'm saying is, we know the list. We can stop the plans. I am not going to be able to kill Kells, as I will be returning to Kells after our mission is complete.
Of course.
It is important that I do that.
How powerful is she?
There's one less god in the world. She has one called, I believe, Shade Slayer on her side, whose real name I also know, and as an individual not to be from Kino, a half-elf. She has influence over royal elven lineage, though to what extent and to who I know not exactly, because it's not my tongue. Your enemy is more powerful than you seek, and I am more useful, my ears and eyes, next to Kel's, to gather more information.
I keep mixing them up. Same with us in the initiative. That is kind of what we're doing. We were actually just told to come here and acquire a stone from someone who was making the webs of creation to hold the gods in place, something that you used to kill my god, I believe. And they wanted it back.
Very interesting. We know what the hit list is. We know the order. We know the reasons. And I can give you the order and information, but I need to give it also to my contacts. And there are additional pieces of information that are not necessarily relevant to you. No offense intended, but I can give you portions of it, and you already have quite a bit to work off.
How do you know the order?
I know the order because of who I serve. I have damned many people in the assembly to gain my position, and I'm okay with that. And I will damn many more so that I can continue to supply this valuable information. That is my purpose. And when there is a moment of weakness, we will expose it and strike. It is that simple.
We will talk with Princess Boo and the other one when we find them and discuss things. I'm not against helping, but I am helping. I'm helping already. I'm here helping. I lost a friend helping.
Good. Not that you lost a friend, but that you're on the right side. And again, I'm sorry for the loss of your friend. I would not have requested the specific people in my envoy had I realized the caliber of the individuals I would be working with on your side.
Let's get back then.
All right. Without much further ado, the rest of the people who don't want to be swimming in the heavy gear all goes into the bag of holding. Yep. You guys dive into the water, activate your various water breathing ability items. You make your way to the bottom of the cliff. Are you guys going to climb up and go to the bar in the cliff, or are you going to find a different way up?
I spent a lot of time putting that rope together.
You did.
Use your rope.
I don't have very good claws.
Where are you guys ultimately intending to go right now?
Back up to the bar.
Okay. Without too much trouble, I mean, you are wet and it is getting super cold. Night is settling in really well. You climb up and you find the bar empty, just as you left it.
Okay.
I'll dry off and get dressed.
Those of us distracted by the incredible form that is Arlos, appreciate that. Okay.
I get dressed and say, I should return those water trinkets back to town. Greff?
Yeah, Yep.
I don't really know what to do with Arawn. I'll leave that to you if you want to do anything.
A proper burial. A funeral befitting a man like him.
I don't know a lot about your ways, but you've got it.
As far as I know, he doesn't really have any extended family back home in Sylvanas.
I don't think that he... I don't think he would want that.
So burial here in Hodunk Town.
Do you think he would care?
I don't know. Why isn't he back? What happened?
He had already made a deal.
What does that mean?
Means he didn't want to come back. You can insight if you want, because clearly, like, he's withholding information. Like, we all know that.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if Greff was going to pressure you more or not. You already raised your voice at somebody once today, and he's, like, kind of proud of you for showing some emotions.
You're confusing. You don't want him to show emotions, and you do. He doesn't know when to do things.
No.
Aww.
He wants you to get angry. You never get angry. That's that.
There's
He doesn't want you to feel
be
bad.
What am I going to get angry at? You want me to get angry? You want to get angry at, like, punch the air? Like, I'm literally talking about killing Kells right now. Now I have a name. Before I didn't even have a name. You're just like, weren't you mad? I was like, what am I going to do?
Kill the goddamn gnome who created the gun that shot your god. Like, that's what Greff wanted you to be there. Like, he wanted you to be angry at the gnome. The fact that the gnome goes like, oh, yeah. I tied your god down and then gave somebody a knife. Like, and you're like, Who did you give the knife? Like, no, be mad at this person too.
Okay, Greff. Are you going to press him on the subject?
You rolling inside.
Greff doesn't really know how this whole thing works or, like, what that means, really. So I think he's just going to drop it. Like, the godly domain is yours. And if there's... I think Greff's probably just assuming it's some kind of paladin god thingy that's like, okay, it's just none of my business, I guess.
Okay. All right. So what do you guys want to do? Let's say it's, probably an hour away from dawn. You guys are in the bar. It's empty. Jankiso has left the premises, as had their visitor. So it's just the three of you. Is there anywhere you guys want to go? Do you just want to curl up for the rest of the evening and set out in the morning? Are you going to try and contact anyone? Are you going to try and stab anyone? I mean, the options are endless. It's D&D. So what do you want to do?
Greff wants to pressure Ola some more.
And is Greff in any way, shape, or form attractive?
Like, Greff is a Goliath. He's bald, has markings and greyish skin. See the artwork for more details.
Hollis kind of like swings both ways, so I was just trying to figure out if he would try and like counter like information with seduction to try and like possibly make him back off.
Give it a go, man. I'd love to see this. Right, I'm going to sit back and
bring it on.
I think as the team is kind of just lounging around the bar area, just sitting back, Greff has gotten out a water skin and is like taking a couple of swigs off it, and he seems to be kind of like lost in thought until he finally like raises his voice again. Okay, Alice, you need to explain something to me.
Oh,
I'm not going to be here to fix this when you fuck it up, Greff, because I've gone to town to return the water trinkets. So be careful.
Okay, I'll deal with you in a minute then.
I said I was going to do that, and now you're talking. And I'm assuming that I've already changed clothes.
All right, Ivoris is on his way up, and I'll deal with him in an appropriate time.
You knew about the bindings, but it's not like you knew where it was. You knew it through riddles.
So every question you ask, I get to ask another question. Are you single? At this time.
I don't really know.
So is that would be an open-ended answer. Okay, then I will give the same. Yes, as you said, yes. Alice suddenly winks while waiting. Well, in the middle of whatever he's asking, that's just going to be like the wink will be right in the middle of it.
Greff kind of like stone faces through that and like, no. What I'm trying to get at is the information you had was very particular, very vague and strange. Like it came from a fortune teller, soothsayer. Like it came from an old book rotting at the back of a library for thousands of years. You didn't see any visions. Your god isn't dead. How did you come across this? Did Millhook tell you this?
I haven't spoken with Millhook for a very long time.
That was not a yes or a no.
No?
Okay.
So, okay.
Insight?
Next question. And this is where it gets fun. So, ignoring this grilling of me, what are the plans for the rest of our evening? Are we would you be up for partying potentially? Yes or no? You can whisper the answer.
I think we're alone now.
I'm up for drinking, but partying is maybe a harsh word.
Okay, so we can start with drinks. That's a start. Okay. I was like, 1 second. We'll continue this interrogation in a moment. Let me just get some drinks. I already paid for them. And I go to the place where I stole some drinks earlier, and I'll grab 2 more because I figure I already gave them a gold. And I kind of like, I use the cracked one to kind of make it look less like I've taken 2 drinks, and I come back with 2. All right, this is a good start. And I put it over toward him.
Thank you very much. And he takes a swig from whatever you handed him. What is it? Wine, beer,
Volley?
some kind of weird in between spirits?
It's some sort of spirit. We'll go with spirit.
Okay, he takes a swig and just instantly. Oh, that's not beer. Okay. I just don't understand how you came across all this information. It seems strange and weird, and it seems... And you don't want to tell us where it comes from, which is bothering me.
I told you, I have most of my information from Kells.
Most? Is the rest just coming from the Assembly? Like, I don't doubt that the Assembly has some powers too.
Well, that's 2 questions. Now, I know...
I'm so glad you're wasting all your questions so far because, like, he's asking nothing. He's getting nothing. You're getting free questions, basically.
Now, I have...
Greff is getting nowhere here.
So this one's really important. And I don't mean this in any offensive term, so please, your secret is safe with me, but, like... Okay, I have to ask this. So you look a certain way, and I know in your heart you're something else. I very much know this in repression of identity and things of this nature. But like as one who is different on their exterior than their interior. So like if you're intimate with someone, is it the same as if you were in the physical form you are now, or do you change form? We don't get many humans over here.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, that's a lie. That's not fair. I insight him.
You wouldn't need to roll because you already know the answer.
I was telling you the absolute truth. I'm offended. I start to pull back the drink that's in his hand. I'm like, if you don't want to have friendly drinks and conversation and you're not going to be civil about this, we can...
I don't know what your strength score is, but I am assuming that Greff just iron grips the drink as he's trying to pull it away.
Alice gives
So like
up.
maybe the bottle tilts, but it does not move out of his hand.
It doesn't even tilt. My strength is so low. Alice is not a strong individual. Well, yeah. Is that the end of our conversation? We could just have friendly drinks and talk about things without having to grill each other for information. If it's a sensitive topic for you, I can similarly clam shut on business, and we could just talk about fun things, Relax a bit. He smiles.
To answer your question, so far nobody has commented on it before. So I am assuming that most of the things translate perfectly.
Gotcha. This is juicy information. Takes a sip.
And luckily for me, the shape I've been given is very similar or representative of my original one.
And
So awkward.
Are we talking about
I'm going to
wieners?
move away. I'm going to move away and see what Ivoris is doing right now before we have to have any more comments on that nature.
I didn't mean for it to go that way, but he...
Well, that's a TOT After Dark if there ever was one. Okay. Ivoris, you are trying to return the items that you guys commandeered from the poor owner of the Sarson's place. Okay. All right. It's fairly early in the morning now. The trip up has taken obviously some time, and the sun is beginning to break behind the clouds. I would like you to roll a perception check, please.
Okay. Yeah, I think Iris knows there's also a pretty low chance that this is going to happen because the shop is closed. But I think he also just wants to get out and walk. It's a 10.
Okay. As you make your way up and realize there's no chance in hell that you're going to get these items back to this guy, it was just probably nice to get a break from a quarreling pair downstairs. You take a bit of a stroll through the town. It's at that point you feel a small tap in the bottom of your back.
I turn and look, and I have my hand on my weapon.
Well, I don't think that that's entirely necessary, dear boy. Before you is a small goblin woman you recognize as Admiralov. Standing a couple of steps behind her, you see a drow. He dark purple skin, amber eyes, long white hair, pulled back into a ponytail of sorts, and a streak of green in the bangs. You
Ivoris
probably want to meet.
can't really hide his shock. His eyes go wide, and he is kind of like a moment of a uh-oh face. Oh.
She turns and says, you probably want to meet a friend of mine. You may have seen them a few times before. This is Maro. Maro, this is Ivoris.
Hello there. Pleasure to meet you.
Hello.
Mara holds out a hand.
Ivoris looks at it and looks at you, and then you can tell that he's kind of nervous about something and that he's been caught off guard for a second, but he shakes your hand and gives you a nod.
I've heard a lot about you. Not enough, but enough.
Sure.
Yes, just passing details, the such like. Yes, well, I was rather passing this way, and I wanted to check in to see how things were going. I heard there was an explosion of sorts, and I did worry.
It's like a moment of silence.
Where are your two? Where are the other members of Kit 10?
Do you have, the thing that Arawn had given you?
Yes, I have that, yes.
And is this safe? Safe?
If you're referring to Maro, they know some, but not everything. They're simply with me just to
Protection duty.
Watch my back as I go on something else. Yes, thank you. I trust them well enough, but I wouldn't speak on the streets, if you know what I mean.
No, well, we can... No, come on. And, Ivoris will lead them back.
On your way back, Adenloff puts her hand again sort of on your arm as you guys are moving. Like, are you aware that there is a small gnome watching you?
What do they look like?
Just an old gnome, white hair, that sort of thing.
Do I recognize that?
Yeah, you'd recognize that as the gnome that approached you guys with the message from Princess Boo.
Oh. Yeah, yeah, we've already had words. Go ahead, and I will, see if they need anything.
Okay. Which entrance are you taking them to, by the way?
The short one.
Okay, cool. All right, no problem. In that case, Maro and Adenlov make their way down this rather steep staircase for some period of time. Ivoris, now that the small gnome has been pointed out to you, very easy to get back to them and spot them and speak to them.
Yeah, Ivoris kind of
Please
just
don't eat me.
walks over and stands.
Please.
Hello. What have you got?
I was just checking to see whether or not you had completed your mission and whether I should let our friend in common know that you were done.
Yes, we are ready to meet. We are downstairs.
Downstairs. I'm sure she'll understand the reference. Yes. You'll tell her I did good, right? You'll tell her that you didn't have to eat me.
Of course. And Iris walks away. I'm done.
Okay, you're done terrorizing this
I'm
problem.
not even terrorizing them.
You know, it's UNT, it's close enough.
I did scare them at one time.
Okay.
But I haven't been scary since. Come on.
In a sentence or less, guys, what have you guys been up to as three people join your merry bar?
Y'all walk in on Jan Kesso and them playing Spin the
Jan
Bottle.
Kesso's gone. No,
Where's Jan Kesso?
They went to Shavana.
Alice is probably sitting uncomfortably close to Greff.
I want Greff to obliviously have taken off his shirt at this point. Like he was trying to prove something and you got him out of his shirt.
Yes.
Like he's not like on point in what you're trying to do, but like he's just like fuck you, I can totally lift this barrel. This fucking arm is too tight.
All right. It's fairly obvious that people are approaching, and you guys hear Ivoris, and you see Adenlov and you see a drow that you're unaware of. Neither of you have met this drow before. Alice, you have never met this goblin before either. Well, I didn't realize this was the kind of bar you're walking into.
Right, well...
What kind of bar did you think you were walking into?
Well, not one that's shirtless. I can assure you all I am not taking my shirt off.
Nobody asked you.
She blinks a few times, then looks at Alice.
Alice takes a slow drink.
What are you... Maru, I need you to take a history check for me, please.
Sure.
Dun, dun,
My
dun.
first roll.
Sound effects live.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum.
On point. It's a 2.
And
Yeah,
if I
you
do
don't know who this
harmonies
person is.
now, I can cut them up later and then lay them on top of each other. Bum, bum. It'll be great.
I'm never going to do this. I'm not indulging this. What are you doing here?
Who are you? What are you doing here?
Well, these two are part of my crew. Part of my task force. But you, aren't you supposed to be with Kells?
I've been sent on a mission.
It's fine. Ollis. We are trying to stop this. All of us. Well, I don't know about the drow. And Ivoris kind of pointed looks and then looks back.
I'm sorry, I don't think I'm rather following here. Alice, aren't you supposed to be persecuting members of the Assembly? What are you doing here on such a normal rough and tumble mission as these? They were simply collecting our alchemist stone and nothing more.
We were working in parallel. It was easier to work together. It's that simple.
Right. As she gives him a very glance of like, Where's Arawn?
Do I know this person?
Do you know the goblin?
Yeah.
I think you can probably deduce who, because you were told. Yes, you would be able to deduce who this is.
Who are they?
The goblin. The goblin is Admiralov. She's the leader of the Kino Initiative Task Force.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes. So yes, you would know who she is. At least by putting together two pieces of information. She's in charge of these guys. She's probably going to be that person.
Makes sense.
So...
Ivoris is looking like at Greff and then down and anywhere but Adnalov, and he's looking kind of wrecked.
Greff's gonna pull out a chair at the table he was sitting at, and like, Adnalov, please have a seat. And like he like pulls out the chair, then realizes like, I'm not wearing a shirt. Where's the fuck's my shirt?
I should have a shirt on for this kind of news. She doesn't sit. She kind of just goes and stands and leans on the table. What's going on? Ivoris, you look... Oh, blimey. She sits down.
Mara's taken up a defensive position by the door. Or I guess the waterfall entrance. It's not really much of a door.
Maybe taking up by the entrance from where the stairs came down. Like, the waterfall. Clearly, there's nothing on the other side of the waterfall, right?
Oh, yeah, it's just waterfall. That's fair. So, yeah, by the stairs.
Exactly. Yeah.
Ivoris is actually kind of like fighting away tears, which is a big difference from the previous times that he's had this interaction with Adnalov.
Yes. How?
Ivoris kind of gestures kind of angrily, but like not at you, to Ollis. We need... The assembly needed to stop Ollis from getting back so he could find any gestures to the cords around Ollis's wrist.
Which are hidden.
Okay, well.
He gestures nonetheless.
He's, what? Kind of the same thing with the scroll.
Right. Okay.
Are these people here to be
Where?
trusted? I point at the drow and Morrow.
Yeah, the drow is Maru.
Oh, the drow is Morrow. I'm sorry.
Just the one extra person.
Okay.
Just the one extra person.
Is this person to be trusted? I nod at the drow.
Right now, I trust him with far damn more than you.
That's fair. I pull my glove off and show the binding briefly before putting the glove back on.
She looks at Greff and she says, "Do you trust that one?"
I trust him. You guys are being so cryptic and weird. He is assembly, we're all fucking assembly. Now tell me I don't have to kill that drow behind you because I said that.
Well, not assembly yet.
Mara's looking at
them.
Admiral.
I need them to help me. I'm trying to make a deal, Greff.
Well, I'm certainly not assembly if they're the ones.
We helped him recover the wrappings of Ilmater so that the initiative can't get their hands on it.
Yes.
He believes he knows.
You are initiative. I don't understand. You've been persecuting assembly. That's all you've ever been known for.
That's what
if
I do.
Assembly could be a person in corporate, it would be you.
Well, your initiative as well, right? I smile. All smiles.
I don't know what I am. The three of us, hadn't decided what we wish to do yet. Mara, I have rather a lot to explain, I'm afraid, my dear.
Mara just kind of makes like a face, just like, I'm not going to say anything right now. Just, you're the boss. I'm just going to stand here and just do my job. It's fine.
I appreciate that.
You want me to attack something? I'll attack something. You want to run away? I'm just going to stay over here.
I like him.
Right. Where is Arawn?
He's at the church, that temple in the center of town.
The rather large-looking temple we saw as we came in.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I assume you've tried to bring him back?
Ivoris tried.
She looks at Ivoris. Ivoris?
Ivoris makes like brief eye contact and keeps kind of looking away and shakes his head, or nods rather, nods slowly.
Then why isn't he here?
He couldn't come back. He had already taken another deal.
Okay. Well, that's that dealt with. I'm afraid I can't handle any of the arrangements. I need to be making my way towards... Well, she looks over at Arliss, and she says, well, I need to be making my way somewhere else. I'm following up on a lead. Mara here informed me that there were contacts with people from Discora, and the higher members of the initiative were aware. I'm going to go track down that rumor.
I need to request something. You have something in your possession, I believe. Would you happen to have a wooden box on your person?
What business is it yours?
I'm going to be very blunt and give you the utmost sincerity and truth that I can give you. I work for someone very high in the initiative who has great
Kells.
and horrible machinations which will destroy the world as we know it. Gods will die, more of them. And you are known to possess something of great interest to Kells. I have been I have been tasked with finding you and retrieving this. I need to obviously fail in this mission. To that end, you can no longer possess the scroll.
Let me put it like this, Arliss. Your information is incorrect. I don't know where the scroll is. I don't know where this box is.
Insight?
The person who did have that information, 100% for sure, is laying dead in a temple somewhere and unable to be brought back.
With a 15, is that accurate information?
She's holding something back. One of the things she mentioned is a bit of a half-truth, but it is evident that she doesn't know where it is.
Look, we have to speak frankly if we're to trust one another, and it is imperative that we trust one another. Very quickly. Our enemy is moving faster than we know, and she has an army. I have information I must deliver, and you and I have slight additional things to discuss when we have time later. As it pertains now, though, it is very important you tell me what you know. Please, speak the full truth.
Take a persuasion roll.
22.
I wasn't lying. I don't actually know where the scroll is now. The person who did know where it was is laying dead. It's not a lie. However, I have laid as many false readings that I have it as possible to keep attention away from him. My hope being that I could draw attention enough away that he wouldn't be a target for whoever it was in the initiative that is after all these things to kill all the gods. Clearly, one way or another, that plan has failed. I don't know where it is now. That is truth. But I would like to keep the illusion that it is with me. I assume that one of my 2 boys here will know where it is, and I'm not going to ask them where. I trust them.
Your assembly is difficult to trust.
I agree.
This is most unfortunate, because that is the next target, and there are many powerful elements moving simultaneously toward that target beyond just myself, and they all believe it to be you.
Well, then I should probably move.
Unfortunately,
I can't keep the attention on you 2.
we will have to work through that, and I would personally like to assist you in doing so.
If you can help me lay down false rumors of my locations, of being seen with the scroll, I would appreciate that. If you could get that information back to Kel somehow, that would further obscure the truth.
What if instead we could say someone else had the scroll? Who would that other person be besides you? I can no longer say you have the scroll, or I would have failed in my mission. And I can't do that and maintain my position, which is of the utmost importance, which you would agree. If you knew what I knew.
What do you know?
I know a great deal. I know the order in which the gods will be killed. I know the objects that are being sought after. I know where some of these objects are. I know additional players scheming.
I know someone we could piece this on.
Give me a name.
I will have to search my notes for his name. Excuse me. He is someone very important to me, but I don't remember his name. I don't recall it right at this moment. Of course he'd pick something bloody horrible for me to pronounce. His name is Oryx. For those playing the How Do You Spell It at Home game,
Nobody.
O-R-Y, shut up, C-K. It's my brother. You know, the person I would trust with something like this.
Okay. I will inform Kells that your brother has the scroll.
Excellent. Okay.
That being said, I still need to ensure that you're away.
Right, yes, I guess I probably should start moving then. What are you 2 planning on doing now? As far as the initiative are aware, I'm off doing something else, so we shouldn't even have been in contact. If you want to return back to Shorvana, it would not be a miss or anything different. Did you complete your mission? Well, from the looks of it, either you did and something went wrong, or you didn't and something is bloody wrong.
We found out what they were using the stones for.
Right. I feel like this is probably going to be a very long explanation, isn't it?
They were using the stones to make webs of creation, which were holding the gods in place to, allow them to be murdered.
Right.
She figured out after Severus, and stopped using it and decided to use it for something else. We have made a counterfeit and hope that will pass.
Right. Okay. Okay, I'll expect a full report when we get back. Okay, fair enough. Are you planning on staying around here for a while, or are you going to go back straight to Shovana?
I think that I have a deal here that I need to see to it that I make. Ollis here and the Assembly owe me quite a favor.
Indeed they do. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll stick around for a day, and if your Assembly contacts turn up, I would very much like to speak with them also.
I'm sure that you hope to get a lot of the same answers that we do.
Yes, you're not wrong.
There's rooms over there.
Good, we've been travelling for a fair bit of the evening, so... All right, well, I'm going to go to bed. And we'll see about this Assembly tomorrow, but if they're not here by midnight, then Morrow... Actually, Ollis, if you're going to be travelling back to Kells, it wouldn't be out of place for us to travel together.
I think that would be advised.
Yes. Mari, you may as well stick with Kit 10 for now.
You mean you're signing me?
Yes, I think if I'm travelling with Ollis, I think I may be able to utilise him a little better. And being that Kit 10 are missing their full strength right now, and you're technically already read in on everything they know, bar a few things. Keep them safe.
I'll do my best. It's what I do, among other things.
I shouldn't have to say, but I'm going to anyway. Regardless on whether they decide to become Assembly or not, you aren't forced to because they are. It's all going to be entirely your decision, but if you're going to be initiative, then I'll have to reassign you and ask for your discretion. I'm not saying I'm going to murder you, Morrow, but I'm not going to finish that sentence, if you know what I mean.
Right. My own discretion, got it. Sure, that's not a problem. Sure.
I know you're more than able to make yourself disappear, so she kind of gives you like a wry smile.
That shouldn't be an issue. Yeah. Right.
Okay, well...
Am I off guard duty then?
Yes you are.
Mara walks over to the bar and tries to find a drink.
Fantastic way to end this little random ass scene. Okay. Are any of you planning on going anywhere, talking to anyone, or doing anything, or waiting until whatever crazy thing that Princess Boo is about to bring your way? Being you've already spoken to the gnome, etc. Alice, I see your hand up.
Alice is going to have a very intimate conversation with our dear friend, the new one who's just arrived.
Okay, Morrow.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, I would love to have a conversation with him, but Analoth.
Okay. If this is going to be along the conversation I think it is, can we leave that until at the end? Because then Definitely. I can ask these guys to go away.
Perfect. That'll be, it's exactly that conversation.
Yeah. Yes, in that case.
The birds and the bees.
If we can, if you can come up with a good reason, you've just, almost died, to have this conversation before you guys go on your long trip together, that would be much better.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, cool. All right. Okay, Arliss to one side is either Greff, Ivoris, or Morrow, apart from Morrow drinking. Are y'all up to?
I think Ivoris is out having another fire. He's got a small little fire going and he's moping again.
Oh, he's in his emo mope cave.
Oh,
This is what he does. This is me now. This is who I am.
No, Ivoris, don't be mope in a cave.
I couldn't find the right way to like butt in earlier when the guys were talking. Like, when we returned to Sylvanas,
Sylvana.
Like, isn't Atlov about to lose her position within the initiative with all these rumors and awful things that are going on around her? Like,
It's definitely a potential, yes.
like, wouldn't we always assume that like our job as a like it's gonna get a lot harder very soon?
Yes, it will get a lot harder a lot soon. Whether you guys could stay in the initiative with Adanilov not in place was something you guys were going to talk about when you got back, depending on how things went. Whether you're going to work as a double agent was going to be dependent on how things went. Whether you decided to work as an independent contractor was going to be dependent on how things went and the communications you had with the Assembly and the initiative. Adanilov being in charge, maybe throwing a wrench in their spanners, but it wouldn't be the be-all and end-all.
Okay. So, yeah. We're assuming that Kino Initiative Task Force 10 is not together just because Adnalov likes us. It is also a useful task force.
Yeah, like you do mundane shit too, like please escort this cargo from A to B and you do it, or like please kidnap this woman and her child. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
We're good at that stuff.
Yeah.
it's almost like that was done.
I just like in my brain, I was just seeing like we return to Sylvana and Kit 10 just gets dissolved like instantly. And it's like, why did we even return? Why did we like? What are we gonna do now? That was just kind of what I was seeing in my head, and I felt the need to like kind of like hash this out a little bit.
Well, you got to collect your final paycheck.
Yeah. I mean, paycheck is important, and now you get to share a. Oh man, that's harsh.
Wow.
I guess Greff's gonna have a little like power with Ivoris when time gives. So you can do all this. We can do all this in Maro first.
Go for it.
Maro's drinking.
Hey,
Two
friend.
drow sitting at a bar.
How's
Hello
it going?
there. It's been an interesting day. I'm all right. Have we met? I don't think we've met.
I don't think we have.
Hi,
I won't give
I'm
you my
Maro.
name.
Holds his hand out.
He shakes. Pleasure to meet you, Morrow. Where are you from?
Shavana, actually.
Sylvana. I hear it's nice this time of year.
It's all right. I've been to better places.
What brings you into this group?
A very long owed favor. It's the best way I can explain it.
Our delightful company. Well, interesting. Not that it matters, and I won't. Just absolutely curious. What does he look like?
Morrow. Let me grab the description here, since it seems someone wasn't paying attention before. Morrow is a male drow, dark purple skin, amber eyes, long white hair that's pulled into a ponytail. There's a single streak of green in the bangs. Long sharp nose, pursed lips, pretty short for a drow and very skinny. Black sleeveless shirt tucked into black pants with a red leather belt. And on their back is what looks like a shield, but it seems to be made out of some sort of mushroom cap. And strapped to their left forearm is what appears to be a scimitar made of bone.
Huh. I was curious what your plans were for the next few days. You're going to be. It seems like you're now kind of falling in with this crowd.
It seems that way. Should be interesting. I've heard a lot about these guys, sort of.
Really? Anything good?
It's kind of a mixed bag sort of thing. Adnilov speaks Well, I get the interesting details. Let's put it that way. I either get the really good stories or the really bad ones. You don't really hear much of the in-betweens.
And Adilov, you and her are, well, through a favor, you've become friends, you said.
Something like that, yeah. I owe her a very big favor, so here I am.
What's she like?
I like Adilov. She's fun. She's kind of got a very perky personality. I like it. I'd rather enjoy it.
As like, the imposing and important figure that she is, how would you describe her as a leader?
I would say she's very much a stab first and ask questions while the blade's in your stomach sort of thing.
That's a nice type.
It's a good leader. I mean, in today's day and age, you got to be careful with some things, but no, she gets the job done with my help occasionally.
Interesting. Well, this is very, very nice. Is his language in line with those of Kino? I've been hearing a lot of strange accents recently.
Oh, fuck's sake. Take a perception check.
Would you like me to roll
Unfortunately,
deception?
Arch, no. He had a very interesting conversation in a backstory. Now he knows something about languages.
21.
Well, 21. It has a lot of Kino inflections in it, yes. There's like one or two that's slightly odd, but that could be because he comes from a slightly different part of the country, or different part of the continent. I mean, you've been all over Kino, but even you aren't nuanced in every single random accent. It's pretty Kino.
I will unerringly mimic his speech patterns now that we've spoken for at least 1 minute.
Oh, that's interesting. You can do that?
Yeah, language is a big thing for me. Language is power. It's how we communicate. It's also how we learn more about people we speak with.
Well, I appreciate that. That's true. That's very true. What else can you do? Can you do that too? Can you change your whole voice? Can you I don't know, can you make your hair grow or something?
No, I'm a paladin, so I used to be able to heal people, but I can't really do that anymore.
You're a paladin? Who's your
Paladin Vilmeter, actually. It's a long story, but I, like you said, have a long, complicated past, and it's led to me being kind of disowned.
Are you on the? Oh, you're not on the up and up with Ilmater. Okay, I see. I'm sorry. Sorry, I didn't mean that.
I'm called the Penitent Sufferer, and it is my duty to suffer so that I can take on the burden of others and one day atone for my mistakes. And in doing so, I will possibly one day get my abilities back.
Oh, you had your stuff taken away? That's so sad.
Ilmater doesn't speak with me, though I certainly speak with Ilmater.
Ilmater doesn't speak with you? That's unfortunate.
Yes, it is. But again, one of those long, interesting stories involving orphans and, a long, harsh childhood growing up. But we don't need to go there.
Do you not have a direct connection? Can you not just, apologize? Is that not really?
It's not sufficient for certain mistakes.
Really? I usually just apologize, and typically it's all right.
Who do you follow?
I don't really follow anyone. They kind of follow me.
Who follows you?
Hey, now that's super rude.
Well, come on now. He's being fair.
Is what Marco hears in his head.
Yeah, for all us. You see Marco's face kind of go blank for a second, and it's just out of nowhere, I was like, can you not? I'm in the middle of a conversation right now.
Oh, I'm really, really sorry.
Really sorry this time.
Shit, I did it in front of the person. I'm sorry about that.
Who are you talking to?
Oh God.
Anyone in particular?
Sorry, 2 gods. They don't like when I don't count one to the other.
Which ones?
Are you guys all right if I spill the beans on that part? Is that cool? Is that all right?
Well, this is entirely up to you.
We're all friends here.
Okay, we're not all friends just yet, but yeah.
Can I hear those
try.
voices?
No fucking way.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah, I suppose I know I'll trust you enough. It seems like there's two gods. There's Shantea, who
I'm first.
there's Shantea, and then there's the Traveler.
Most important one always goes last.
All right, can we not have this conversation right now?
Sorry.
Okay, we can talk about something else. That's fine.
No, not you. I'm sorry. No, it's they do this a lot, and I still have trouble sometimes with splitting the conversation. I know they can hear my thoughts normally, but like it's easier for me to communicate when I'm actually speaking. It's one of those.
So they're
things.
talking to you right now.
Well, not right now, but right now, yes.
Okay, and they can hear all of your thoughts.
I haven't really experimented or not. Can you guys hear my inner thoughts? Like if I think really
they
hard.
choose to remain silent.
Oh, that's not fair. Come on. They're not.
I like
not
you,
answering.
Maro. You're quite fun.
Well, thank you. You should see me at parties.
We could. I was trying to start a party here earlier, and Greff had his shirt off, and we were. Well, I'm not going to get into where we were going with it, but we were having quite the party here, and we could probably start another one again. That would not be a bad thing.
I don't know if there's enough booze here for another party.
Oh, there actually is enough booze for another party.
There's?
Yes.
Fantastic. Let's do that then.
Okay. And Alice will spend probably the rest of his evening dropping 2 gold and taking a bunch of the drinks.
Hey, look, it's the person, the bartender.
Here you are. Here's plenty more.
So you two can definitely spend however long we decide to let this shenanigan go on for drinking, getting to know each other on whatever levels you two deem appropriate. Greff and Ivoris. Greff, you find Ivoris moping, in a very similar manner.
How could this
as he was the day before.
Me?
I'm imagining Greff comes out with like a 2/3 left of his spirit bottle and sees that like Ivoris has started himself a little fire, and he walks over and he's gonna sit opposite him.
I'm sorry, V. You see he's burning his book that he's been reading in the fire.
Which one? No.
Greff sees it, notices the cover, but hasn't really gotten a look at it, and notices that he's burning his copy of one of the popular modern romance books that he's been trying to learn from, which is essentially the fantasy version of 50 Shades of Grey. He's burning that one because he hasn't learned anything from it. He's very confused still.
Anything about it? Are you on about the Criminal Ties one?
No. Is that it? I don't know. There's like a 50 Shades of Grey equivalent, and I was like, that needs to be the first thing to
it's clearly Criminal Ties.
Make my poor child not understand things.
Yes. Greff, these 3 books are very well known, whether you read these type of novels or not.
For a Yanti going to look for a romance book to learn, you go for the most popular one, and what do you get?
He went for the most popular one called Criminal Ties, which has the same kind of
I found it in Scam.
lure around it as 50 Shades of Grey did back in the day.
How is it not 50 shaded scales and it's some kind of scaly board thing?
No, because it's not about that. It's about... Okay, I have to open it now. It is a BDSM about a tiefling and her criminal drow lover. Anara felt the bonds about her wrist tighten. She looked over at the heaving muscle chest of her drow lover. I refuse to read anymore.
Stop it. Greff just kind of like stares at the fire when he realizes there are books in it, and just like...
There's just one. He's just burning all of them. Yeah, he's just burning the one he's giving up on. The one he's not understanding very well. Hi, Greff.
Hey.
He acts like nothing's wrong. And like he's not burning a copy of a book. He doesn't know. This is a normal romance book to Ivoris.
Did the book do anything? Is it a bad book?
No, it didn't.
I don't take this as a recommendation.
Well, it didn't do much of anything, and that's kind of the point of burning it, Greff. What, you all right?
I think the question is rather aimed for you. Are you doing okay?
He kind of like stares at you for a second, and he looks back and kind of looks like he's considering. I mean, I don't know, Greff.
I know you're not doing okay. I'm being polite. We're fucked, aren't we?
No more than anyone else. Probably just a bit sooner.
I guess I kind of wanted to take this moment before everything starts up again tomorrow. To tell you that I don't know what to do right now. And I'm sure you don't know much more than I do. But I trust your gut. And I trust your instincts. And whatever you choose to do, I'll be there as long as I can.
He kind of gives you an appreciative look and nods at you. Thank you, Greff. I don't really deserve that from you, but,
What do you mean?
I don't really know what I'm doing.
Never let me astray, dude.
Yeah, but, you make the decision that you want to make, Greff. My motivations are to stop the gods from dying and the whole guidance thing, but I don't know how that's all. I don't know.
That's not a bad motivation.
But I know that you have other things that you need to focus on.
They will come in good time. Currently, I am not the man I need to be when I return. And I'll be very honest, like, aside from a couple of not very spectacular missions on our behalf, like, our travels together have been nothing short of spectacular.
That's kind of a relief to hear, Greff. My previous groups did not feel the same. What are you protecting them from?
I'm not protecting them from anything. Back home, we don't really have the same, we're not looked upon like the other races, and I really want to fix that. And I want to help the one capable of fixing that. I'm not there to protect anybody, really. The one I want to protect doesn't need my help. She can take care of herself, but I want her to see my value. And I want to be useful. I believe she has goals for all of background. And while our lifespans might be short in your comparison, or to compare to many of the others, I believe that, well, in her short lifespan, she's done more than most have done in their entire lifetime.
Well, you'll have to tell me more about where you're from some other time.
Definitely. So, real talk, dude. And Greff, like, gets up and, like, plonks down next to you this time. What are we doing? Initiative? Assembly? or just sword for hire? Like, what's our next step?
Well, we know what the initiative is doing.
Mm-hmm.
We know what the assembly says they're doing. So if we work with the assembly and figure out that we don't really, enjoy what they're doing, we can always do the same thing that we've done with the initiative and kind of just go back on them. But until then, you well know that I do need them to get me out of trouble before I can take any deals. And while I don't know who to trust, Greff, but I need them to get me out of trouble.
I may have started the process of getting you out of trouble. I don't know how well it's going.
What do you mean?
I meant to tell you about
you.
I meant to tell you about this when we got back, but things have gotten kind of hectic, and I feel like I need to kind of come clean about this. So the goblin that is investigating you, his name is Erkin Warhide. Erkin, he may have had a huge gambling debt with a pretty known gambling den, and I may have gone and tried to motivate the gambling den of telling him to fuck off.
He's just staring blankly, and he very slowly just turns his head back to the fire and continues staring.
So, if Erkin comes to you with any questions about that, I'm sorry, I was trying to help, and I may have taken a bigger bite than I could chew. The guy that runs the clubhouse is
Great.
He's not trustworthy, really, I think.
Well, I might need to go into hiding now anyways, Greff.
Oh.
I appreciate you trying to get me out of trouble. I really do. You're a good friend, Greff.
You're a good leader. And he gives you a little shoulder punch.
Not yet, but I'm hoping that one day, Still young and all that, hoping there's still time. Yeah, Greff, they're definitely going to try to take my head off for bribing them. Yeah.
You didn't do anything.
They're not going to see it that way, Greff. They're going to see that I manipulated you. That's what they'll think.
Yeah, I believe they would buy that. Yeah. Hey, maybe Mr. Musik will actually stand by his words. Maybe he'll do what I asked him. I paid him a buttload of money.
It was a buttload of money he borrowed from you.
Some of it borrowed from him.
Well, we will see what we have to do about that.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Get me out of this.
Please.
No, it's funny watching you two dig holes. It's amazing. Okay. The day rolls by. Whether you guys continue drinking, whether you decide to take a short walk somewhere, whether you decide to go back swimming in your Speedos is entirely up to you. However, as the sun is beginning to set, two sets of very obvious. As the sun is beginning to set, there is very obviously two people making their way down the staircase into the bar area. Most of you will be on the other side of the waterfall already. Whether Mario wants to be there, whether Ollis is there is entirely up to you guys.
Yeah, I'll be there, kind of hidden.
Big open cavern. Nowhere to hide, dude. Adnalov is standing with Greff and Ivoris as you can hear these footfalls coming down. Maro is somewhere in the background, as is Ollis. Jumping through the waterfall, you see Princess Boo, tabaxi, black and white fur. Well, mostly black fur, some white fur somewhere. And she has a kind of grim, determined look in her eyes. Next to her, there is a white tabaxi. Most of you, some of you, two of you, rephrase that. Two of you know who this is. This is Milhook. One you have met briefly before, and the other is your contact, is your uber boss.
You hear growling noise coming from Ivoris. He doesn't make growling noise often, and his ears are folded down. He's not happy.
Adnalov puts like a little warning, puts a hand of warning on your arm for just the briefest moment, and then pulls it away. So, here you managed to do the contract. Aw, aren't you adorable? So you did a favour and scratched my back, so I thought I would bring Milhook to you.
Great, it wasn't worth it. You ruined my life.
So rude. And you see the white tabaxi raise her hand to quieten Princess Boo. Princess Boo makes her way over to stand next to Greff because it's amusing to me that she does this. Let me just bring up all my information on Milhook.
Oh boy.
Just a second.
Let me just get settled in here.
Quick question, metagame, and the
Yes,
royal
of course.
family of Kino. What race are they?
All right, so the royal family of Kino is not a thing. Kino is run by a kind of council that kind of has a lot of nepotism in it. The royal family that she has domain over, the one that she talks to a lot and controls, is from Discora. And you assume possibly Elven by some of the language characteristics you picked up during your backstory. And the undead son is the son of the leader of the initiative itself. So
Gotcha. Perfect.
The leader of all of Kino is Barakas, and he has a son called Indrak, and Indrak is the one you know to be dead. Before you stands an albino tabaxi. She was the highest paladin serving for Savras until she got outed as an assembly member. And obviously, Savras died. She's wearing scale armor with a blue orb that's emblazoned on the front, and it has a kind of glow to it, which denotes it's probably some sort of magical thing. Slight red sheen. Yeah, that's all you're gonna pick up as she immediately walks in. When you tell her that she's ruined your life, she looks at you in the same manner she did before she left, of utter distrust. And she says, "Well, you are a UNT. I don't know why Savras chose you."
Then you know he chose me. I heard your conversation. You told him he had heard nothing. You turned him against his own god's word.
Yes, well, I couldn't. You work so deeply for the initiative. We couldn't just trust you. You have to understand, UNT, you may be the only one with feelings. Yada, yada, yada. We can't take that as truth. We can't have you turn against us. And he doesn't remember exactly what Savras told him about you. Most things are left to interpretation. But as it is, you live and he is dead. Clearly Savras wanted you alive more.
He's just scowling.
You wanted this meeting, other than just have a go at me. What is it?
We have done favors for your organization to gain your trust in the fact that we are trying to stop more gods from dying.
She puts a hand on her chest over the orb that's emblazoned on her armor.
And if I'm going to do anything else to help, I'm going to need them to not be on my back about Scamos. You did this. You turned him against me. You're the one who killed him. You got him. You did this. And he starts getting really angry.
Fine. I'll take the blame. Happy?
He kind of like looks at Greff and looks back, and he's not like really sure.
No.
Adenlov is agreeing with Greff.
We have more business to talk about.
Yes, we do. And I would like to propose a ceasefire of sorts. You see, as much as our god may be gone, I don't wish to see other people suffer the same fate. And obviously, the world falling apart with the death of all the gods is not good for anyone. So, what I propose is this. I try and trust you despite being a UNT who could be changed to either side.
You're the one who came at me.
Oh, blimey. Yes, well. Fine. I'm either going to be able to work with you, or you're not going to be able to work with me. I'm trying to propose a truce where everybody gets what they want. We can deal with our personal issue afterwards. Let's have a world to have a bicker in. Let's have a world we can actually have a fight in when this is all done.
Wonderful. We got your book to Discora.
That I appreciate.
We got the scroll and didn't turn it back. We helped you get the bindings.
Oh, you got them?
We lost a friend.
Looks over at Arliss.
What more do we need to gain your trust?
If I put aside what you are, your race is what you are, then yes, you have our trust. I'll make the thing with Scamos disappear one way or another. Although, from what I've heard, there have been shake-ups in the local law enforcement.
How do you mean?
Well, last I heard, not that I've really been to Shulvana very much since I got exposed, some of the guards are not as vigilant as they used to be. Certain investigations have let slip, but, yes. I do everything we can to make the Scamos thing disappear either way. If it hasn't disappeared already.
Okay.
Right. Are you going to maintain your covers as Kit, or are you going to branch out independently?
We at least need to return the fake Philosopher's Stone thing so that they don't come hunting us down.
Well, how about you maintain your cover? We have other operatives in deep cover as well. Do that and we'll come to you when we need help, and if vice versa. Well, Amira here can make sure that you have a contact on hand. Amira just rubs her tail along Greff's arm, just nods and smiles. Well, if we're in for a penny, I guess we're in for a pound. I think it's probably best if the Assembly keeps contact with Greff or Ivoris or Maro. Of course, that depends if Maro wants to even join the Assembly. Adnov looks over at Maro. I'm afraid this is really out of the point that you jump off if you don't.
Do you mind if I ask some questions first, then? Is that all right?
The Tabaxi nods.
What side here is trying to save the world, and which side here is trying to fuck it?
See, isn't it confusing? They're not very clear.
See, I just got here, but I understand. But I don't understand. Everything that's going on with the conversations here, it's very cryptic, by the way. I'm trying to discern it, but I'm not very good when it comes to... Well, I am, but I'm not. But, who's the good guys here?
Perhaps I could be of assistance, Alice says, stepping forward.
You're a good guy. We were drinking. Boy. You're fun.
Yes, and I believe we are fighting on the same side, or we should be. There's no reason we shouldn't be. We're all looking for the same thing here.
I like being alive. Saving the world kind of goes hand in hand with that.
Yes. I have a report, though, that is of utmost importance. We can decide Morrow's fate after that's delivered, perhaps, or Morrow can decide his own fate. Let's say that.
Does the report affect what I choose?
It may affect how you perceive things.
I like to know everything and perceive things, so go ahead, I guess. Morrow's looking around at all these really important people that are now in the room and being like, I'm a little out of my league here.
Shit, I'm at my depth.
These are really important. These are really important. Just
I know. Yeah.
Help me.
Alice, it's not like you to break. It's not like you to break your cover. What is it? Must be something exceptionally important.
If I can speak plainly in front of everyone here, and I think this is important, and if one person knows this information, it would be realistic that others would as well.
Let's put it like this. If not, we kill them all. How about that? Carry on.
Agreed. Kels has gone too far. I helped her come to power, but I myself did not see her for what she truly was until it was too late.
What is that?
A necromancer. Kels controls Baracus, the leader of the initiative. It is very secret information that his son, Indrek, died, and Kels brought him back as a means of controlling Baracus and the initiative. Kels also commands someone of royal lineage, Elven, presumably from Discora. I overheard the conversations myself. She works with one called Dagagan, a half-elf and quick study. The wheels of something sinister are set in motion.
Dachin.
Okay. Sorry, the spelling was weird. She works
very different.
Dajin. That's different. Dajin, a half-elf and a quick study. The wheels of something sinister are set in motion, and one called Shadeslayer will soon join their ranks. And after, that is presumably after he's done spreading chaos over there, which I assume to be Discora, based on their conversations. Kels has a few webs of creation, items required for the death of a god, and she knows where the additional pieces she needs are. She has a few mages in her employ who will be able to answer the call and open the portal to the Sentinel Plane. I know for a fact that when Savras died, his orcs died too, and they are now in her undead employ. Ogma is next on the list. She has the Paladin, and not quite the artifact she wants, but she has a different one. The spell will happen in a few days, regardless of if she gets the scroll or not. That is the scroll she seeks. Her next plan is to kill the god of morale, the goddess of joy, to make the world sad. Then one of the big three, presumably Lathander, preventing resurrection after she acquires the correct relics. Ilmater will be next, though the great artifacts will be more difficult to find now that I've acquired one of them. I unglove briefly, and Alice shows the cord of Ilmater. However, the bandages can be found in a small town called Yowley, which is her plan next, which needs to be dealt with very quickly. That is why I've risked my life, and why our friends here lost a friend, to try and recover me, why I'll be returning back to Kells, and why I must stay by her side as your agent, ready to do whatever needs to be done to prevent the death of the world.
Adnalov pipes up and she says, I'd really rather make my mission over there a bit useless.
Unfortunately, more sacrifices will have to be made for my cover to remain intact when I return, and I apologize for all these inconveniences on my behalf, but I verify this information with my own ears and eyes, and it is all true. Kells is plotting on a global scale with others, and gods will die if actions are not taken very quickly.
Then I think, Arliss, my friend, you should probably return back to her as soon as you can. We'll have to set up a contact much closer than we have ever had before. We need to know ahead of time all of these people at risk. Try and get to them before she does.
I will vouch that these two helped me. They were... I look at Morrow. No offense, we just met. These two did assist me in some of these tasks, and I believe them to be trustworthy. Their interests are aligned properly, and they can be trusted.
Despite my reservations, I actually agree. What are you going to do about the binding on your wrist? You cannot take that to Kells. She cannot be anywhere near the possession of that.
I intend to seek out someone on my way back. If you have better ideas, I'm open to them, but that was my plan.
We know where Arawn used to store the scroll. We can take the wrappings there. The string. I don't know if it's guarded magically or not. I don't think I knew that.
You wouldn't know.
I was intending to go to a church of Ilmater and see if I could pass them on to someone of faith. No offense,
I'm
Greff.
sorry, but I think that may be a bit too obvious. We don't know who she has to help her open these portals.
What do you suggest?
Putting the wrappings of Ilmater with Ilmater is... Adnalov puts her head forward and says, let me put it like this. Arawn was one of my... I trusted Arawn to be Arawn. He managed to keep its location secret from me, but if he trusted it with these two, then I think that the bindings would be just as good with them. You two do actually know where he hid it, right?
Yes. It's like a slow nod.
She nods back.
Then it shall be. Alice extends a hand to Greff.
Greff raises his hand. Greff receives. I don't know how to talk anymore.
Infinitely worse.
Podcasting.
It's not like you can re-record lines or anything.
Greff extends his hands.
It's not like that one's going to be the one that makes it in.
Greff receives should be the final.
Pro voice actor, ladies and gentlemen.
You're just going to shove that into when Alice and Greff were talking earlier. Just 1 second. 1 sentence.
Just the end of it.
That's going to be the end of your campfire scene. Greff receives.
Okay, so gross. Stop it. Stop it. Four so naughty.
I made one joke. Everyone else has been so naughty but me. I burned my naughty book, V.
No, you. Okay. Greff reaches a hand out, and what do you do? Do you just take the bindings off? Do you wrap them around his wrist?
Alice touches shakes hands with the same hand that has the bindings and tries to unravel them by wrapping them onto Greff's hand.
Okay. It begins to get very, very loose on your wrist, and probably when you're about halfway through wrapping them around Greff's wrist, much like a marriage ceremony, the bindings quickly ravel up his arm and become very, very tight. It's that kind of feeling like you're wearing too many rubber bands around your wrist and your hand begins to get really warm, and so it's a bit like that. It's painful to the touch. When you have attuned, I shall release to you what it does.
Is it supposed to hurt?
Unfortunately, yes. That is the nature of suffering. You take on the suffering of others.
Right.
Welcome, brother. It's like you're my religion now.
Ollis, there's one thing I haven't heard you mention that is something I had assumed. You have not mentioned anything about Kells having a dragon. We saw a dragon, which I assume is why you think that you couldn't trust me. And he gestures to Millhook.
Travis looks at him and check your texts. Do I know this?
I've just read it. You haven't heard anything about her owning a dragon.
He keeps a straight face as best he can. And that is not prevalent information that I'm aware of. Unfortunately.
Then was it Assembly's dragon?
You see Millhook looking at you, and you see them kind of like roll their eyes a little. It's like, no, we don't have a dragon.
Didn't think so.
The dragon's not ours. From the sounds of it, the dragon is not initiative, nor does it belong to Kells. I would assume it probably has something to do with the descendants of the first dragon, the one that caused the fracturing of the continents as they are. I had reports that they went to the bargain on top of Symphona. Now that is, in theory, where a new race was born, with a bargain between a dragon and some gods took place. I assume it has something to do with that. And what with the world and gods dying and such like, I wouldn't be surprised to see the dragon, or dragons, hopefully, taking an active part in guarding it again.
Well, that is a concern.
Yes, it is. They can be somewhat narrow-minded from the texts. Some of them bent on evil, and she gives Ivoris a bit of a glare. Some of them bent on stopping that. Well, as wonderful and lovely as this has been, I actually have things to get on with now. Thank you, Alice. I appreciate the risks you've taken.
Morrow, have you chosen a side?
During this conversation, at some point, Morrow has leaned over to Adnilov and just in a whisper is like, I'm sorry, but what's a dragon?
Have you seen a gecko?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them.
Okay, so imagine a gecko with wings. Have you got that?
So it's a little, so it's a little thing like this.
No. I need you to do this literally one step at a time.
All right.
Imagine a gecko.
Okay, you're right.
Right.
Gecko.
Put a pair of like wings on it. They're kind of scalier, a bit like a bat.
All right.
Okay, right. Now make the head much bigger, cover it in kind of like spines and horns.
Okay.
And give it ginormous teeth.
Right.
Right, and a really long snout, and a long tail, kind of like a long tongue.
Is that okay?
Right.
Right.
Make the legs like much bigger. Make the tail much bigger with a point on the end, and cover the whole thing in spines and scales. You with me?
Yes.
Cool. Now make that 400 times bigger, and let it breathe fire.
That sounds really cool.
That's a dragon.
That sounds really cool.
Yes, I'm really sad I didn't get to see it.
Is that a normal thing here?
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's absolutely not a normal thing.
Okay.
Like, dragons are myth and legend.
I was going to say, you never told me about that stuff.
It's a history.
Well, I'm not 100% sure that these two
Excuse
actually
me,
saw
we're
it, but now
whispering over
everyone
here,
is.
Ivoris.
You are.
Yes, we're being quiet over here. You're babbling
It's
about something.
just that you're whispering while we're all talking and we're trying to have a conversation. You're right
All
here
right,
next
they
to
definitely
us.
get busted whispering.
Sorry.
Our
these two actually
conversation
saw it.
wasn't that intense.
I was confused on
I'm
something.
sorry.
I was trying to figure out. You know what? Sorry, I'm new here. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Sorry to interrupt. Where were you all?
Alice, have you chosen a side?
Who?
Sorry,
You
not me.
are
That's my
Alice.
name. There.
Alice, have you chosen a side?
Mara,
Jeez.
have you chosen a
Ivoris,
side?
what are you doing?
I mean, it sounds like you guys are all trying to do the right thing. Alice, I have a question for you, actually.
Sure.
That list of yours, the 2 gods I mentioned, are they on that list anywhere?
Oh, no, not yet. But I'm sure they will be after some time.
You see Morrow's like visibly relieved, like holding chest, just like, all right, that's good for now. Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a relief.
I know. I was really weird for a second there.
But they did say not yet, and I really don't like that.
Well, listen,
Like that either,
it's a work in
darling.
progress. We're going to work on this together. All right, these people seem like they're pretty
Yes, we
cool.
will.
We'll work on this. I think I can trust them.
Yes.
I think. Right?
I leave that entirely in your hands.
I mean, I would, but then also wouldn't, so I don't really...
You'll
Who are
be
you
fine.
talking to?
It's the best option I've got. What? Sorry? Fuck, I did it again, didn't I? Alice, you were supposed to yell at me for that one.
Oh, sorry. Yes. We were talking about something more important, Ivoris. So they apparently need a paladin and an object to create the ritual and make that happen. So, or at least someone of faith. But I believe our time has run short, and Andalav and I have a trip to make to depart.
Yes, I mean, that was the direction I was going, and I'd led all the clues that way. I should probably fulfill it out to keep them distracted from whatever task you were all running.
I just have one question before I depart, and certainly I'll
Everyone
be
raises their eyebrows like, who are you talking to?
I kind of to everybody. Who should I say mugged me, and that who will now be wanted besides this strange Arakakra and Tabaxis? Should that be the story I go with? I guess there are witnesses to corroborate this.
Well, you could always blame it on me. The Tabaxi, the black and white Tabaxi, who has like her tail all over Greff, just kind of like gives you a look. It's like, just say Princess B. I mean, that burns me as a contact for you for now, but I don't mind taking a little heat for this. I mean, I am known for making people disappear and grabbing them on the fly.
Alice is visibly jealous.
I think to like put the whole thing together, I think I might have to give you a little scratch though, honey.
Oh,
Not you.
I'm a sufferer. I'll take care of that. I don't need any help.
Oh, she looks a little disappointed.
Weird flex, but okay.
Oh, right. Okay, well then I guess everyone better get on their way.
Millhook, a couple more things.
They kind of like give you a look, but allow you to continue.
Very calmly, he asks, was I an assembly job or a personal job? Did you know scammers?
It was a personal job. I have had many bad experiences with you, Auntie. Many. They all seem to follow the dragon from which you got most of your powers. They follow that.
I know. The other thing, I've been having visions from Saras still. How can I learn to make sense, use this? He kind of reveals his eye patch thing, and there's not really any other way to explain it, so...
They walk over and they say, stories are that Savras used to be able to control these abilities just by willing them, touch, a sense that he could overpower. He could call on it much like you can call on a memory. It just takes practice, I'm afraid.
But it's not a memory. They're future visions. I saw us here, all of us.
Yeah.
Except for you. And points at Mara.
And a mirror wasn't in your vision either.
That's true.
Arliss was, yeah. She reaches out and she offers you a hand and she says, "It's simply a matter of practice. Like you would recall a memory. But rather than thinking back, you're thinking forward. That's very difficult to wrap your head around, I'm afraid. But that's all the text wrote. I'm afraid I don't know anyone who knew Savras personally to be able to guide you through this. Try it on me." And they extend a hand forward.
He reluctantly reaches forward and tries.
All right, let's roll you some future.
Future roll. All right, what did I do on this?
It has been a while.
It has. I have the future roll here. I don't think it has proficiency bonus on the thing, which I think that we've
You
put
are not
on there
proficient.
before? We've done
yet.
advantage or proficiency. I can't remember.
I listened to the episode recently. You do not have disadvantage, but you also do not have proficiency. She originally meant to give you disadvantage, but you forgot.
Yes, so
Okay.
it's just flat.
Okay. So confused by
You'll get to
future
gain
rolls.
proficiency and expertise later on.
It's an 11.
It's an 11. Okay. Well, that didn't do you any good. Roll a con save, please.
Boo.
Boo.
Natural 20.
Sticking with it. That seems to be a typical thing for you.
Always.
Roll 3d4.
9.
You take 9 points of psychic damage. It might be the fact you really don't like this
I
woman.
really don't like this woman.
It might be the fact that it's been a while since you've tried using your ability to look into the future. It might be that you're more complicated. It was more confusing now she's tried to explain it. Who knows? But you don't get a good read. But you do get something. Okay, let's read what you get from her.
Hold on. Time out. V.
Time out.
Fuck
Time out, V.
Fuck this. Fuck all
what?
my friends waiting till I have waiting till I have inspirations to keep them from dying. I'm going to use my inspiration and they can die.
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
Okay.
Because I don't like this woman.
I can't complain. We're not
See,
friends
I'm
yet.
scared of using my inspiration because V will not give me inspirations.
I'm scared of using inspiration. I want to hold on to them like little treasures. No, she's been giving them out.
It's not like V's out for blood or anything.
Yeah, I have inspiration.
What?
Yeah.
He had
He
a
hasn't
really
been here for more than 3 days.
he had a really good backstory.
The fuck is this shit?
My second roll is a 7, so not any better. Keep going.
Disregard.
Do you want to give him your inspiration, Aethor?
I hate you so much.
Oh my
yes,
goodness,
you
don't.
can have my inspiration.
Why?
No, stop wasting
Because I
it.
want you to.
No, stop
I want you to
wasting.
see Mealhook's death.
I want to see.
Oh, that's what you want.
It's
Okay,
right now.
okay.
Stab.
Well, it's a 4. Stop giving me things. Stop.
Travis, would you like to contribute?
No, this is my boss.
Good. See, someone around here is smart.
Okay. So we slowly got worse and worse.
He's trying so hard.
11, a 7, and a 4.
Gonna pop
all the
a vein.
rerolls.
Papa Vane.
That's super bad.
Snake vein.
Mara doesn't have an inspiration yet, I'm
My
afraid.
one good eye turns
No,
red.
my backstory apparently
Did,
wasn't so good.
I earned it
Travis
by
rolled
going
so
down
many
to
nat
1
20s.
hit point and taking it for the team. That's
You did, actually, yeah.
1 maximum hit point.
You want to talk about going
Yes.
down and taking one for the team? Let me tell you. I got some personal experience with that one.
I am going to stop this conversation before I make it lewd. Okay.
Woo-woo.
You don't see... Stop it. You don't see her... All right. as you reach out and you try and recall a memory in the future,
Try as I might, the best that everyone
you
can.
see Millhook. You see Millhook's silhouette. You see it being illuminated with green fire. You hear the voice of a woman laughing. And you see darkness. You see a shadow making its way towards you. And as you kind of look at this darkness beginning to envelop the small 3, maybe 4 foot high version of someone, your vision disappears. That's all you're gonna get.
Ivoris kind of takes a step back and brings himself back to.
You're not blind for an hour, so that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, there was green fire and a shadow and a small figure. You were on fire, I think.
You see her eyes go wide a little. Oh.
Wasn't there someone else? There was there was a person?
Yeah, you saw another kind of
Yeah.
figure, maybe 3-4 feet high.
Okay,
Oh.
that was the only other one there, though?
Yeah, it's the only other thing you
Okay,
noticed.
I had misunderstood. Okay,
Apart from the big shadow.
Cool.
Well then, I guess I have lots of things to do. Keep at it. Severus gave you these visions for a reason.
Can we change them? Are they permanent? Being that
You
they're
can try.
of the future.
The more you have, the more you can see if you can thwart them, I think. But do keep us updated, and if you can. I'd rather don't want to go out like that.
Sure. Like you said, these things can change, yeah. Just be careful.
I hope so.
Then, and, yeah. Good luck. And Ivoris kind of awkwardly, it's not really making eye contact and backs away.
As the sun begins to set properly, you see Amira plant a bit of a kiss on Greff's cheek, and she and Millhook make their way up and out. Adnov turns to Arliss and says, "Right, I guess we better get going then."
Yes. Please lead the way.
Now, you 3 play nicely together. And, take care of Arawn, please.
We will.
It was good being in your company, friends. And I hope to see you in the future, though not too soon.
Good luck on your mission.
Likewise.
Good to meet you.
I cannot apologize enough for the pain I've caused you. And I won't try to.
Well, I'd be
But
I'd be happy to hear you apologize every moment of our journey, actually.
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Greff and Ivoris. But yes, I guess we could start a conversation, but leading into an apology isn't really and he starts his normal chatter as he starts to walk.
You guys basically see the two of them like like a really bad buddy cop movie making their way up the staircase and into darkness. At what point do you want to start this conversation? Do you want to be on the road? Do you want to be on the staircase on the way up and out of this weird bar area in the middle of a cliff?
The most important question, did I get a stray hair from Princess Boo?
Yes, you did.
Okay. That's...
And yes, you managed to leave the note.
Wonderful. I left my very important note to my dear friend Greff.
Very important note.
Cool. That being established, I have a very important note. Probably not near cliffs, but somewhere where she couldn't easily escape. Let's say that. And also not in the middle of a town.
Yeah, I mean it's a fair walk back to Haymane Retreat, which is where you know that Kells will be soon. Being that she circled off somewhere and is going to be coming back, also Adelov knows that she's going to be there soon.
Then cliffs
Hence why
sound
she's
ideal.
heading in this direction. Yeah, I mean, there's staircase up. People would probably see you on that, though.
Oh, no, then maybe the road. That's fine.
Yeah, I think the open road may be a better option. Because the cliffside walk up the staircase would be easily interrupted by these guys going back up at some point. In the town is done because it's in a town.
So the night
Yeah,
before
there
was
isn't
really
really-
where I was trying to give her the note to say, like, the verbal, like, notice, hey, if you have affairs, you're going to be disappearing soon. You really need to get them in order. That's kind of...
I think if it depends if you are planning on walking back to Haymane Retreat, which is a very long walk, or getting another carriage. Like you could get yourself a horse and cart. That would be a super easy way to have her kind of partially confined and be able to have a private-ish conversation with her.
Great, that's the plan then.
Okay. You acquire one because you are Arliss and everyone looks at you like, holy shit, he is the initiative all over. It's very easy to acquire one. You guys are heading on the way out. The sun is up proper now. Yeah, and she's sitting up front with you.
Hey, so I have a truly important topic, couple of topics to preach with you while we're here and have some time.
Sure.
So, you're going to have to disappear. I said that earlier yesterday, or a few days ago, rather. And your affairs, like, is there someone who could fill in for you? Is there someone who you want to work in your stead now that you're kind of like on the run and disappearing?
Well, if we're implying that my brother has the scroll, I can't go there. But that will probably be the first place they look. They'll just find a grave marker, and that's fine. They would probably assign someone from one of the other kit teams to take over my position. I don't want to influence that. I want them to continue doing that, because then that doesn't alert them that you and I are having a conversation.
Certainly. Is there anything else that you feel is important that, besides the obvious saving of the world, that you would need to accomplish that I could maybe help with before we return and part our ways?
Other than a family long gone, I'm afraid not. Really, those boys and Arawn were kind of it for me. I need to know they're safe and I need to know they're well.
I understand.
Bless their cottons.
I myself have a sister. I joined the assembly a long time ago when I was 15. We were hoping to make a difference. And,
Aren't we all?
yeah. Life, I would do anything to keep the world a nice place for my sister. And if I'm speaking quite frankly, it's been a rough path.
Yes. We've all suffered losses. Yes, the world has lost a god, but we've all lost people, one way or another.
Do you understand how important the work I'm doing is as the key informant for everyone?
I'm going to have her make an insight roll.
Should I deception or persuasion or anything?
Nope. I want you to roll persuasion, please.
Beauty. 25.
She equally got a 20.
Natural 20?
Nope. But you are persuading, so you want this to be the case. She reaches over and kind of directs the horses to pull you off to one side of the road so you come to a stop. And she looks at you. Something about her gaze is very piercing. But you are being as honest as you can be and as fair. And she can see that. You are in a very privileged position as a master of information gathering keeping things secret and acting upon them. That's my very upfront job in the task force. I understand the position you're in. I think I know what you're asking.
Unfortunately, yes. I've been tasked to kill you and bring back your hand after severe torture, which I can forego entirely.
I'd appreciate that bit, for sure.
In all truth, I'm not even a paladin. I mean, but I have to wear a part of myself as and make it as real as can be to turn my small bit of faith, which has grown over the years, into a icon for the initiative. Not one I'm particularly even fond of. I don't.
No.
I don't want to be an icon. I don't want to be a leader. But we all have roles thrust upon us that are important.
I agree. I know where you come from. My affairs are always in order. After my family, I don't have any affairs.
Well, if it's any consolation, Ias, in a swift motion, just grabs his sword and tries to decapitate her with one shot.
All right. She's prepared for this, and she will also be bringing up her weapons to bear. All right, I need to open up my other Roll20. Okay, I would like you... I'm gonna... Being that she is aware that this is about to happen, I'm not gonna say this is a surprise attack, mainly because she knows this is about to happen. She knows it's gotta look good. All right, I want you to roll initiative, please.
14.
So, you try to decapitate her in one shot. What did you get?
I rolled a 25, and I did apparently 6 damage.
Okay.
Which is strangely low, but my strength is also strangely low.
Yes. Yes, it is. All right. Is there anything else you want to do on your turn?
Oh yeah, sneak attack damage. I mean, rending damage.
Oh, really?
Possibly.
So you get your sneak attack because...
I tried to do it in a swift motion, and maybe I add initiative to her, and she hasn't gone first.
Yeah.
Fingers
Fine.
8. So she'll take 8 plus 6 damage.
8 plus 6, 14.
And with the sneaky rending, she'll take an additional 15.
All right, so you do a total of 23 plus 6 is 29 damage.
Yeah.
She will use her uncanny dodge. So she'll only take half of that damage.
Okay.
It's a rogue on rogue fight.
Oh, this is exciting.
Yeah. She pulls out her rapier. And she will... Okay. You see her pull a red scarf she has around her neck up and over her head, and she disappears.
Okay.
What do you want to do now?
Let's see. I will attempt to try another attack with a Vorpal Sword.
All right, it's a disadvantage because you can't see her.
Easy
Which
enough.
means you won't get your sneak attack.
That's fine. Might there be blood in the air or anything, or is that also invisible?
That would be invisible for sure.
Okay. Ho-ho. 26 was the lower of the 2 hits.
That for sure hits. Let me check to see whether her thing is a thingy or a thing. Okay. 26. Half of that is 13. Let me do a con save. She's fine on the con. All right. So yes, the 26 would hit for 14 damage.
Yes.
Oof, max damage as well. Ugh. How you're swinging madly in the air, I guess.
It's a Vorpal Sword. It's
she
like an
uses
elegant
her reaction
weapon.
to half the damage.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Fuck him up!
Huh?
Fuck him up!
She's gonna. From the background, she somehow feels Greff yelling for her to fuck him up. She pulls out her sword. She pulls out her rapier. And in her advantage of being completely invisible, she strikes at you. The first one, both, there'll be always an advantage because she's invisible and has greater invisibility. So she can't be uninvisible unless you do enough damage. 13 piercing damage plus her sneak attack of 24, so that's 37 sneak.
She might kill me. Which would be comical.
Yes, it would.
Ala says, "You're making it look too good."
Sorry, darling. And then she'll go for her offhand attack with her other rapier. Also an advantage because she's still invisible. Well, that was a natural 1 and a 12 to hit, so I assume 12 doesn't hurt.
Okay. Is she visible now that she's attacked me, or does greater invisibility keep it up?
Greater invisibility keeps it up.
That's so crazy. Okay.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Well, to complete this game, I will cast Darkness inside the cart.
Okay. You two are just getting fucked up.
And I don't think I have anything that can actually heal myself. Or was I given anything? I can't remember if I got any potions.
Nope.
Nothing.
Nope.
That was my action, and I'll use my bonus action to temporarily hide in the darkness. But I guess it doesn't matter because she can't see, so it's indifferent.
Yes. It's a whatever she does, she'll be at disadvantage for attacking you anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. All right then. Being that she's no longer at advantage, she can't get sneak attack anymore. God fucking damn it! Smart son of a bitch. She will pull out her. She'll pull out her rapier, and she'll slash blindly in the dark at disadvantage.
Please miss.
For a 20 versus armor class.
She'll hit.
All right, she does 12 piercing damage.
2 health left. Okay.
All right, I need you to roll a con save to maintain concentration on the spell. I think Darkness is a concentration spell.
Darkness 5e. Just double checking it. It's one action. It is concentration.
All right, so yes, you need to take a con check of DC 10.
Really? Really? All right.
Yeah.
Darkness failed.
What'd you get?
7.
Okay. Darkness disappears down, which means that she gets to have advantage on her offhand attack. Actually, that first one wouldn't even have been at disadvantage, just negates her advantage. All right, so now she can see you. With her offhand attack,
I'm
13
dead.
versus your armor class is not going to do anything. Now, you said you're at 2 hit points.
Oh, yeah.
You look suitably fucked up, right?
Yes, at this point.
Cool. All right, sure. She'll maintain her composure.
All right. You will hack wildly with the last strike and try and hit something.
Okay.
I have to roll at disadvantage. I assume a 16 will not hit.
A 16 does not hit, I'm afraid.
Could I use my inspiration?
Yes, you could.
The middle of the two would be a 17 because I rolled a 21 just now. So I'm not sure where it goes because I was at disadvantage. I rolled a 16 and a 17. Then I rolled the other one and now it's a 21.
21. That would. Yeah, that's the reroll. Oh, I'll say that hits. Whatever. That's for 7 damage, right?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay. Well, she uses the classic maneuver of only taking half damage. Uncanny dodge, that's the one. So she'll only take 3 damage.
Has she
You should
failed
have
any
that,
of her
by the way.
concentrations to say invisible? Jesus.
I'm about to check. I'm about to check this one. So it's a minimum of a 10 DC. She makes it just. Still invisible. Now it's her go. You can't see what she does, but you hear her voice from the back of the cart saying, "Well, I think I've suitably fucked you up." Fuck. You hear a swing of a sword. You hear a swing of a weapon. You hear a blood-curdling scream and yell of pain. You see Adlanov become visible, and you see her hand bounce on the back of the cart. And then she takes off, running into the distance.
Interesting.
What do you want to do?
Could I try one last attack? Like a run after and try and swipe?
Yes, sure. What's your movement?
My movement is actually pretty decent. 30.
Actually, your movement would be higher than her. She's only a goblin.
Okay, yep, 30.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's say yes, you can go for one more solid attack.
And she's visible, so I don't
Yes, she
think I
is.
need disadvantage. It was 23 to hit.
That hits.
And 7 more damage, that's it.
Alright, she uses Uncanny Dodge. She takes 3.
Okay.
she turns around and she puts the rapier in the only hand she has left, because now she can't do offhand attacks because she's literally just lost her hand. She puts the rapier to your throat. You look bloody, you look bleeding profusely from many wounds, and her face just asks the question of, do you really want to do this? She doesn't look too bad apart from the lack of a hand.
I look and just kind of say, at least knock me out.
Okay.
I cannot tell lies.
I assume 21 versus your armor class hits?
Unfortunately, yep.
Yep, even with Uncanny Dodge, you would still be unconscious. She turns the rapier over and just punches you square in the face with a pommel, knocking you to the ground with not lethal damage. Yeah. And when you come to a few hours later, with your singular hit point, you have a hand. There is a fuck ton of blood, some of it yours, a good portion of it hers, but she's nowhere to be seen.
I pet the horses and leave.
So, this is the new norm. Friends die, enemies arrive and they pretend to be your friends. Friends arrive and they pretend to be your enemies. Wait, does that make sense? I'm gonna have to ask Ivoris about this. He probably knows a saying or something. Anyway, that's it for this month. I hope you enjoyed, and if you enjoy our stuff, please follow us on Twitter. We have a really active Twitter, and there's a lot of good shit on there, so please. Other than that, I have nothing to tell you, so I'll leave it at that. Have a good day.
She has influence over royal elven lineage, though to what extent and to who I know not exactly, because it's not my tongue.
Hmm.
Did I do something? Where did our DM go?
No, V turned off her fucking camera because she couldn't hold her face.
I'm giving accurate information here. I'm not.
No, it's good.
No, you're fine, Travis. Please continue.
Yeah.
Please continue.
This
is riveting stuff.
Arts like slowly start locking eyes with the cam, where it's just like.
Did I mention that I rolled all natural 20s in our original start session to gather information?
Destroyed it. He fucking destroyed his backstory.
Oh, goodness.
Your enemy is more powerful than you seek, and I am more useful. My ears and eyes next to Kel.